to my channel. If you're new here, on this channel we talk about law of attraction, spiritual development, and making you believe that all things are possible one step at a time. So earlier today I got a lot of butterflies in my stomach to make this video. So that's a sign to me that this video needs to go out, because it's just, guys, I have struggled a lot with self-confidence growing up, and this was always a big struggle for me. And over the course of the last couple of years, if not like the last year, definitely I have really pinpointed and got down to the bottom of what really helps. So I am giving you guys all of my little secrets, and I only hope that they help. And if they don't, that's fine. They still help me, and that's all that matters, because it's my life and I don't want to feel miserable. So if anyone wants to take these tips into consideration, then just keep watching. So honestly, talking about this video giving me butterflies, I'm gonna kickstart the video with a little butterfly story that I heard from someone. I don't know who, I don't even know if it was someone popular. I literally just heard it from someone. And the thing is to put into consideration, let's put it into perspective. Say your partner is this butterfly that has landed on your hand. Beautiful, right? We got something beautiful right in front of us. The thing about butterflies too is that they're very delicate, right? So we don't want to crush it, because if we crush it, then obviously it's going to die. So think of that relationship, that butterfly, as your partner. And you want to, kind of cradle around, protect it from the wind, protect it from something, anything, just a little bit. Well, the thing is what people usually start to do is they start to crush it. That is, you can't do this, you can't do that. What's in your phone? What is this? What is that? Like, that's what you're doing. Now, of course, when you're crushing the butterfly, it wants to go. It wants to get out. It doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to hurt like that. So it's only when you can take that butterfly and just cup it enough to take care of it. But it's only when the butterfly is able to go, it will stay. You see what I mean? And the more that you control and try to get that person to not be who they are or do anything fun or what have you, that is when the butterfly wants to leave. Because at that point you are crushing that butterfly, you are crushing that relationship, you are killing that relationship. So as to start this video, that is what I want you to think of when we are going into the mindset of jealousy. We don't want to crush. We want to protect, we don't want to crush. Now, one thing that I actually ended up starting to do after it just got to a point where I was just really fed up with how my mind was processing certain things is ask yourself why it bothers you. Why is that specific thing, person, whatever it may be, why is that bothering you? Like, get down to the root cause of why something may be triggering you. And a lot of that will stem from not being authentic yourself. When you neglect your authenticity, then you're getting jealous because that person is a reflection of you, of who you want to be. And I know it just doesn't make sense, but life is a mirror, and there is so many different aspects of how that can play roles. But when you are in that jealousy form, it is a version of you that you aren't being true to yourself, and that's why you're actually being triggered. I want to repeat that. You are being triggered because you are not being true to yourself. You are not being authentic, okay? And honestly, jealousy is awful. It is. But it also gives us a chance to be better. And I know that sounds so twisted, but it can actually cause a creative mindset to play in, and then you can actually be better than who you are at that moment, you can actually want to be better. You can actually want to do better. So jealousy, when it comes up, it doesn't always have to be something negative. It can actually mean something good can come out of it. So allow your mind to just kind of flow into creativity on what you can do for yourself. And that just rolls into like the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is do something that day, every day. When you leave the house, do something that makes you feel good. Because it's as simple as if putting on mascara is going to make you feel more empowered that day. And I know it sounds crazy if there's a man watching this, but I know what mascara can do for a girl. It does something to the soul. And sometimes that's all it takes for me, is like if I'm having kind of a sluggish day and I think that possibly I can be triggered by something, I'm gonna do whatever I can to feel good about myself before I walk out of the door. Because if I'm feeling good about myself, then I'm gonna feel good about other people feeling good about themselves. So if it's a piece of clothing that makes you feel good, if it's a ring, if it's earrings, if it's a shirt, if it's a belt, if it's a certain shoes, if it's a hat, like wear or do something that makes you feel empowered that day. Because in all reality, that's something that can take maybe 5 minutes out of your day that can change your perspective on a situation that may possibly happen. Now, I'm not saying we're not causing a situation to happen that we're gonna end up being jealous, but if you feel good about yourself, you're not going to realistically get jealous. Now, we know regardless, like jealousy is just a thing. It's a human nature thing. We can do our best to control it, and then over time it does get better. I will say it does get better because you end up forming these better habits that allows your mind to process in a different way, allows you to think positive before thinking negative, or able to switch it around quicker. So when we are in that negative jealousy mindset, we do need to kind of switch that around into a positive mindset. We have to try to do that quickly, or else you start falling into, I'm not good enough, this person, my partner, thinks that they're better than me, looks better than me, etc., etc. If you see someone that you think is pretty, and in your head you're thinking, oh, she's pretty, or oh, he's good looking, instantly you're gonna go to think that your partner is thinking the same thing, which it could be true, it might not be true, but what can help is when you automatically say, oh, she's pretty, oh, he's handsome, follow up quickly with, but so am I. Because then you start feeling a little bit better about yourself too. You gotta empower yourself. We're constantly just expressing how good someone else looks, but we're never complimenting ourselves. And never doing that, we're always putting ourselves below people. And not that we have to be above people at any means, like we should be all equal because we are all so unique and we're all so different, but we're continuously putting people above us. So if you express like, oh, she's pretty, but so am I. Oh, she's got good style, but so do I. Like, it could be that simple to just reverse your mindset into a different thinking pattern. I know that kind of sounds simple, but when you're in that jealousy mindset, you really instantly go to that you're not good enough. Like automatically. That's usually how people's minds work when you're in that state of mind. So just find ways to up yourself too. Put yourself on that same level, because there are so many different people out there, and I've stated this in my last video, which my boyfriend has made this statement to me, because I at one point would always say there's always going to be someone prettier, there's always going to be someone better at things that you do, and it's so false. Because why would you put yourself down when there is so many different people out there. Like, there is just a lot of pretty people. There's a lot of good looking people out there. And you're one of them, but in no way should someone be better than you, because we're all our own individual person with our own mindset, our own goals, our own dreams, our own creativity, our own style. And it should just be that. But we're constantly comparing because that's just the world that we live in. And I can't contribute to that mindset anymore, because I don't think it's fair to myself to feel that negative all the time and feel ugly for whatever reason. It just doesn't make sense. So I really try to embrace myself in all situations that I can, even when it's super, super hard. So we have all been in a relationship, if not current, then in the past, about jealousy. Whether it was the man, whether it was a girl, whoever, we know that that conversation has not always been the best. It doesn't always go that well. It takes a turn for the worse, you know what I mean? So let's think about that. We've usually expressed certain things that have made us jealous in a relationship. It has caused a fight. And then at some point, that fight turns into okay. It ends up being okay. So what I would like for you to do, that before you really express, unless you're really seeing something that happens that allows you to get jealous, in every way, shape, or form, you should talk about that, because there are certain things that people should not do in a relationship. That if you want to do certain things, you can be single. Like, absolutely, you don't have to put anyone through that shit. You really don't. But what I'm saying is that eventually in that conversation, at some point, it ends up being fine. So if we can have that conversation in our head before we talk to that person, because in all reality, it's probably just something that's stemming deep down in us, that's causing us to be triggered and us to get jealous. Not so much that your partner is doing something wrong, which we also need to stop assuming, unless you're actually seeing something, because when you're assuming, you're just creating more problems. So have that conversation in your head first. Play it out. We kind of already know how things are going to go in that conversation, so have it. Have it spiritually with yourself and your partner, and then get to the point where it's okay. And then just take a breath, be like, that sucked, but we got through this. Okay. It's not going to be easy to have that conversation in your head, because you want to hear that person say, no, I didn't do that. No, I didn't look. No, I didn't do. And the thing is, anyone can say whatever they need to say to make a situation better. Whether they are lying or telling the truth, all you want to hear from that person is that they didn't do it. And somehow them validating that will always make you feel better. And that annoys me. And that's why I started having a conversation in my head, because whether a situation is right or wrong, this person can tell the truth or not tell the truth. And either way, they are stating something that is making me feel better because of a word that they said. Like, no, I didn't. And you're like, oh, whew, okay, I feel better. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I don't even know why I was thinking that. See what I mean? Like, you have to get that validation in order to feel better. But that person can still be lying. And I'm not saying that our partners are doing that to us. They're not lying, whatever. But it's just how it goes. And if something in a relationship is that bad, that a person may be lying to you over and over and over, it will come out eventually. I want you to trust the process, that if something is going on behind the scenes that you cannot see, it will come to light. I promise you, it will come to light, because anything that is not for you will remove itself eventually out of your life so that the good can come in. And I just want you to trust that process. And in the meantime, when you can trust that process, that everything will just work out the way it's supposed to, you start to have more fun. Because when you're having fun, you're living in the moment. And when you're living in the moment, you're not dwelling what someone is doing, saying, being, something that happened to you in the past, what might happen in the future, maybe 5 minutes from now, maybe a year from now, I don't know. But if we're never living in that moment, we won't ever really truly be happy, because we're continuously making shit up. So that kind of leads me to my other tip is, don't rely on your partner to say things to make you feel better. We are in charge of the ship. Like, this is our ship, our bodies, we're the captain. Don't rely on your partner to say, oh, but you're so pretty. Oh, your ass is better. Oh, your muscles are so much bigger, etc., etc., etc. Because if that's the case, and then you keep relying on that person to feed you that information to make you feel better, and then eventually it's just gonna come off as you are being not confident in yourself, at some point your partner is no longer going to want to compliment you, because why is someone going to feed you these compliments if you can't even think that about yourself? Then, therefore, if they stop saying these things to you, then you're going to be sad. You're going to get upset. You're going to be angry, because then your partner is not giving you the attention that you deserve. And it's not up to them to make you happy. It's not up to them to say that you're pretty. It's not up to them to say that you're handsome, or that you have bigger muscles, or I don't really know how men want to feel when they feel jealous, because I'm not a man. But it does work both ways. Don't rely on your partner for attention. Now, my last tip would, okay, either take this or leave this, because this is really going to either hurt you or it's going to help you. And for me personally, it ended up helping me, because in all reality, if I'm not in a relationship, I'm not comparing myself to people. And when I'm not comparing myself to people, I am embracing everyone's beauty around me. Like, I literally just think everyone is great. I really do. And even in a relationship, I do feel that. But in a relationship, you do start to compare yourself a little bit more, because you have someone that you can't read their mind, which we need to stop trying to read people's minds, because we'll never be able to do it. Maybe in the future, I don't know. Telepathic is a thing. Anyways, for the time being, we're not. So we need to stop thinking that we know what the other person is thinking, because it's not true. We'll never know. We'll never know. So stop trying to assume. But like I said, when you're in a relationship, you start to compare yourself because you think that your partner is thinking a certain way or looking a certain way, and then you want to be better than that person, and yada, yada, yada. So regardless, I adore people. I think so many people are so beautiful and so talented, and I love that. And I love that for myself, and I love that I think that way. So instead of getting jealous, like I said, take this or leave this, because this doesn't work for everyone. And I don't even know who it works for. I've just only done it for myself, and it's really helped me. Is to express to your partner what you see. Because if you're looking at someone that may possibly trigger you to want to be jealous, and then that is because you think that your partner's thinking the same thing. If you express it, it's already out there. All right, we both are aware she's hot. We're both aware that she has a fat ass. We're both aware that he has big muscles. We're both aware that he's a good-looking guy. If you put it out there, it's not really trapped in your mind anymore. It's kind of like, all right, we kind of agree on this, but then we move on with our life. Now, like I said, that could end up being it could end up being bad, you know, if you do that, because not everyone wants to hear their partner say, yeah, she's got a nice ass. Yeah, he's got really good muscles. Yeah, he looks ripped. Like, I don't know on a man's point of view, but you know what I mean. So when you're saying that and expressing that, it's already out there, and you do get to move on with your life, because you're not thinking like, oh, are they looking at that person? And then you're like looking at their eyes, and then you're like trying to make sure that they're not, and then you catch them and you're like, fuck, they like them. They think they're hot. You know what I mean? It's so silly. It really is silly. And I don't think that we should be silly anymore, because it's just a lot of stress. It's a lot of unnecessary stress that we don't need to cause on ourselves. I've expressed this before. Your partner is with you. Your partner has chosen you for a reason. They love you. No matter what, there's always going to be beautiful people out there. There's always going to be people with features and styles and whatever that you may want or prefer to have. But put yourself in your partner's shoes and really look at yourself from their perspective. See how beautiful you are. Because if you put yourself in their shoes and see how they see you, you'll feel that love. And you need to start understanding that relationships don't always work out, but they can. And if you just try to control the bad habits that you have going on in your head all the time, then it allows you to just be a little bit more free and be a little happier. It's not easy to get rid of these jealousy thoughts. Like I said, we're human. It's always going to happen. But we don't have to let it consume our mind and really tear apart our relationship and tear apart ourselves and our mind. Like, it's just, we need to be kind to ourselves. And if you really care about your partner, then it's worth working on your mind to be better for your relationship. Now, if your partner is doing obvious things that they shouldn't be doing, then that's a conversation to have. And if that keeps happening and it hurts you and they keep continuing to do those things, then it's not something to be in. Like, that's not a relationship to be in. That's not happy. That person obviously is going to keep doing things because of their own insecurities to make them feel better, and it's just leaving you feeling shitty. So if it's an obvious thing where they're obviously purposely flirting or whatever the case is, I don't really know, then have that conversation. Don't keep yourself in a relationship if that other person is not willing to make it work. Like, I'm in a very, very comfortable, beautiful relationship, and we both care about each other very, very much. And we show each other that we care about each other with physical attention all the time. And that's something that we love. And it's easy for us to want to work on things with each other and want to be better for each other and kind of allow those things to not happen as much because you just have that for each other, if that makes sense. And one of like the last, and I think the last one was the last one that I said was the last one, but it's not, is to be in a fuck it mood. Literally. And I mean this in the most nicest way possible, but there is so many people out there. There is 7 billion, 8 billion, I don't even know where we're at anymore. There is a lot of people. Now, be grateful for the partner that has chose you and the relationship that you're in and the memories and connection that you guys have. But if something were to happen, fuck it, right? There's a lot of people out there. And you know what? If anything ever happened, it would hurt. Yes. I would be sad. Yes. But it always ends up getting better. Like, we know this. We've been through very shitty relationships and it always gets better. Every single time. And every single partner gets better. So just know that if a relationship doesn't work out, it's just meant to not work out. And there's always going to be something better along the way. So put yourself in that fuck it mood, because if something happens, it happens. You cannot control, we cannot control the future. And if we know that we can't control the future, I don't know why we think that we can control our relationships. Because it's just not going to happen. The relationship is going to work out the way it's supposed to. And the more that you cause insecurities and jealousy onto that relationship, it's just crushing it. It's crushing that butterfly. We don't want to do that. If we are with someone that we care about, then you just got to go for it. You just got to go for it. There's always going to be beautiful people out there. But if you can't stick up for yourself and you can't find beauty in yourself, then don't be in a relationship, because you have not found love within yourself yet to love someone else. And I know that's the most like cheesiest saying, but you really can't. You cannot. I've tried it plenty of times. You cannot love someone until you love yourself. And that's the biggest tip I can ever give. And that's what everyone says in this lifetime. And it's so fucking true. Love yourself first. And that will be the biggest thing. Like, a couple years ago, I hit a very euphoric feeling, and it was all sober. I was driving, and this feeling of, and I was single, this feeling of this overwhelming love, connection, peace, understanding, joy, everything, enlightenment, like everything you can possibly think of that is good and high energy came over me. Like, I'm like getting chills right now, because it was the best feeling in the whole entire world. And that love was amazing. And I didn't have someone with me for me to feel that. So for me to feel that without being in a relationship, I know that I'm capable of loving myself. I know that I don't need someone to be happy. No one should ever make you happy. Someone can add to your happiness that you already have in your life currently and just make it that much better, but no one is going to physically make you happy, because you can always be stuck in a shitty, crappy, negative mindset, and no one can save you out of that. No one. You can ask for as much attention and as much compliments and what have you. You can ask as many times, and it's never going to make you feel better about yourself until you start making yourself feel better about yourself. You gotta start loving yourself. And that's it. I think that's it. I think that's all of my notes. And I hope it made sense, and I hope someone takes something away from that, because I'm sharing all this information. These are like my hidden truths. Like, this is on my worst days, guys. On my worst days, I am pushing my mind to be positive. I cannot express enough on how much I changed my mindset to be more positive. And it's hard. It's so fucking hard to get yourself out of those mindsets, because it's so easy to just want to be down and want to ask for compliments so that you can feel better. It's not easy to stay quiet and really allow yourself to be with yourself in those negative thoughts, and to really just change it around and change your thought pattern. It's not fucking easy. Like, it's really not. And I'm getting so just passionate about this, because I've worked so damn hard to be in the mindset that I am right now. And I know it's possible for everyone to change their mindset, and to not, like I said, jealousy is always going to come up. It will. And that's just the world that we live in, and it is what it is. But we can make it so much easier on ourselves. We really can. And if you think that you're worth it at all, which I absolutely 100% think that you're worth it, to do these things and try these things for yourself, just, it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to take a week. It's not going to take 2 months. It's going to take months, if not longer, to reroute your brain every single day. There's so many days I wanted to give up, and I couldn't, because that's not me. Those thoughts are not me, not one bit. And I think that it's possible for everyone to do this. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that I'm better than anyone, that I have this all under control and what have you. I'm just saying that I have come from a very low point to a higher point, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. It's just, these are tips that have very, very much helped me on this journey, and I think that they can help you on your journey. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. If you feel like there is a topic that you want me to speak on, leave it in the comments below. If you feel like anyone needs to see this video, please share it. Give this video a thumbs up if you resonated at all with it. It's only going to help me and my channel. If you enjoy the information that I put out, you can subscribe to me. That is a way to give back for everything that I do put out. Yes, it is something that I enjoy doing, but it's just a way to give back, like I said. And I am also a holistic mindset life coach. So if there's anything that you ever need to chat about, I will leave my email link below so that we can talk about plans and prices and all that good stuff. And that's it. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed, and until my next video, I hope you stay true, and namaste. Bye.